Hi, thanks for joining us today on Shining Stars in South Florida Business. I'm your host, Danny Poulos, and our very special guest today is Richard Hartman. He's with the Hartman Team at Nova Real Estate, and we're going to talk a little bit about what makes not only Richard's real estate business different, but what makes Richard different. I've known him for quite some time, and you think you're going to find a lot of this very, very interesting. So thanks very much for coming in today, Richard.
My pleasure, Danny.
Great
Thanks
to
for
see you
having me.
always. So let's start a little bit from the beginning, at least at the beginning of real estate. What made you choose real estate from what you were doing prior, and how did you get into all this?
Well, I've had a lot of different careers, done a lot of different things. Started in the corporate world, had a business, bought a franchise, and I'm really one of those kind of guys who just can't keep a job. So when my son Ben, who is a PGA Tour pro, decided that he wanted to try his hand at golf, but he first went into real estate so we had something that he could back off and be part of. And then he said to me one day, "Hey, Dad, why don't you come work with me?" Now, the opportunity to work with your child, if you get it, take it. And it's been one of the most rewarding and sincere relationships that I've ever had. So that was the impetus for me to go and work with Ben in real estate.
So he pulled you in.
He pulled me in.
Nothing wrong with bringing Dad in.
Well, you know what? I have a daughter who's an attorney, and that isn't happening. So I've got Ben and now my daughter-in-law, Joanna, part of the Hartman team, as you said, and it's just a very rewarding and enlightening experience.
Absolutely, and I know all of them, and it's an awesome team. So we'll talk a little bit about you. What are the influences in your life that you think brought you to that kind of decision, that kind of move?
Well, you know what? The longer you go, the more you realize you don't know. And I found that real estate was a way for me to be involved in the community, take an interest in the well-being and the future of the community, of course, be involved with my family. And I bought and sold so many of my own homes over the years. I finally figured out that I'm either on this side or that side. Let me try my hand in the middle. And it's been wonderful. I'm a student of markets, which in any business, you have to know your markets. And in real estate, it's really the same thing, being involved in the markets on a daily basis. I see the trends, the ups and the downs, and that's what makes it exciting for me.
Yeah, and that's what comes through when you're talking to a client. They get a feel for who knows what they're talking about and who really doesn't. So what's next? What's the direction of this whole thing?
Well, having worked in a family business as a kid, I want to build the family business. We've just started Nova Property Services, which is a property management company, sort of born out of necessity because clients would say, well, what do I do now? And who do I call for this? And they weren't here. And my daughter-in-law, Joanna, she's going to be heading up that division. So we're kind of expanding in the field of real estate and real estate services. And it's really quite exciting.
It's time for some grandchildren. You're going to have to build this up over generations.
I'm excited about that, too.
What type of things do you get involved with, hobbies and lifestyle stuff when you're not selling real estate?
Well, when I first moved to Florida 25 years ago, I thought I had died and gone to camp. Tennis, water sports, although I'm still very much an avid snow skier. I'm the guy you're going to see running through Miami Airport in August with a pair of skis on his back going to South America. That's one of my long-term goals. So I enjoy doing all those types of things. But my real passion is helping other people grow because that helps me grow. So I get involved in a lot of different organizations. I've been a junior achievement volunteer for many years. I'm involved in the town of North Palm Beach. I just find that the more you give back, the more you get. It wasn't always that way, but I figured it out.
And it keeps you out of trouble.
You
just keep yourself busy, right?
Absolutely.
I always like to ask people as we get to know them, what are some books? I'm assuming you're a reader because I know you that well. What are some books that you like to recommend to other people? I think that tells a lot about who somebody is.
Well, one of my favorites is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And if you haven't seen his TED Talk, it's about the second most watched TED Talk ever. Another one is The Power of Habits. And that book has shown me that everything that we do is a habit. And if you don't like a certain habit, you start a new one.
Right.
It was so obvious I couldn't see it. but I got through that. It was wonderful. Another big influence, it's not really a book, but the Landmark Forum had an amazing effect on me, but not right away. The whole idea of being able to be present to making choices in your life.
Right.
You're in control. What a concept. Sort of brought me along in that respect. And the other ones, the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, it's the Bible. It's got to be on everybody's shelf. And then, of course, I'm a big reader in biographies. Lindbergh, Steve Jobs. I just finished the Lincoln book. They're so telling about people, and it gives you the opportunity to understand why they were successful, not just because of what they might have accumulated, but how they went about doing it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people say they need change and they're ready for change, and making the first step is really books like that. At least it opens your eyes that the things you're doing every day don't have to be the things you do every day, and to, like you say, change your habits, get new habits.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure we speak about the new Toastmasters Club that you've started that's really designed for realtors.
Well, the Real Toastmasters Club was an idea born from me first finding Toastmasters, not really knowing what it was, but seeing the possibilities of helping other people communicate better, and not just professionally.
Of course.
You know, in your personal life, your relationships with your family, with your children, whatever it may be, the ability to communicate effectively, to listen effectively, and to be a leader to people. It just turned me on.
Right.
The starting of the Real Toastmaster Club is really about helping people see that potential for themselves. And I get the most joy and satisfaction out of seeing people do things that they didn't think they could do.
Right.
And then they just get up there and do a very simple speech and they glow. And that's the reward I get from that. I see it for realtors as a way to become better.
Absolutely.
Uplift our profession, be more professional, and at the same time enjoy it more.
I don't care what you do in your life. There's nothing that's not improved by being a better communicator, and part of being a better communicator also being a better listener. I've been to this meeting with the realtors, and listen, if you haven't done it, guests are invited, right? Come in,
Right.
try it out,
Guests
sit
are
there and
invited
see what goes on.
as many times as you want. And by the way, Danny is a member of the Real Toastmasters Club. Come and experience what we have. We don't sell it. We let it sell itself. And we got off to a great start. We
Absolutely.
got chartered in like 5 weeks, which is a testament to the people, not to me. I just opened the door and they just came through. And we're going places with this.
Yeah, and I think people in the real estate business see how important it is, and they see the
Absolutely.
benefits very easily. I mean, they're one-on-one every day with somebody,
Absolutely.
and it can't hurt.
By the way, this club, though, is just not for realtors
Right.
or real estate affiliated people. It's an open club, and we invite anybody and everybody who wants to just sharpen the saw a little bit
Right.
and have fun doing it.
Before we tell everybody how they can reach you, I know I always love some of your quotes. Hit us with some of your inspirational quotes. And then
Well, you know, I'll have a new quote next week from this week. But one of the ones that's most important to me is the one that talks about people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that was one that hit home for me a long time ago. And I always go back to that when I'm off course.
Right.
What is it that I'm not communicating effectively? And it's probably something that I'm not getting versus the other person.
Absolutely. Everybody should try that one on for size.
Another one, and this is one that I believe in every day, is don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can do. Half full, half empty. It's always going to be half full if you look at it that way.
I know you're going to want more from Richard Hartman. Tell everybody how they can reach you, either with issues regarding real estate, buying, selling, renting, and also if they want to learn more about Toastmasters.
Well, my phone number is 561-762-4787. And as I said, I'm with the Hartman Team at NovaRealEstateInc.com. Toastmasters, we're on the major Toastmasters.org website. You can find our club. We meet at the RAPB office in Palm Beach Gardens, so we're up there. They can certainly find me through you.
You'll find them. Listen, Richard Hartman is certainly a shining star in South Florida business. Thanks for coming in today, Richard.
Thanks,
Pleasure.
Danny. Thanks for having me.